Hi yogis, Sarah here from Sacred Lotus Yoga, and you're very welcome to join me for today's Restful Yin Yoga Practice. In this restorative sequence, we'll melt away any muscle tension and create space in the body to encourage deep physical, mental and emotional relaxation. We'll hold each pose for a few breaths, so feel free to bring along any bolsters, cushions or blankets to help make yourself extra cozy.
We'll start today's practice sitting towards the back of our mat, bringing our big toes to touch, keeping our knees comfortably wide apart. And if you have a bolster or cushion, you could place it in between the legs and we'll rest down into child's pose. Resting down onto one ear, allowing the arms to rest heavy. And we'll begin to bring ourselves into our practice today. Bringing our awareness into the room as you begin to notice the temperature of the air against your skin. Noticing any smells, any sounds around you. And beginning to draw that awareness into your body by noticing your breath. Noticing each inhale and each exhale. If you're resting down onto an ear, you can now swap sides and rest back down. Keeping your awareness with your breath as best you can. You might notice as we hold these poses for a few breaths that the mind might begin to drift and wander. And if it does, just notice the thoughts that arise and allow them to drift by. This is your time to relax and let go. And we'll gently and slowly release out of our pose, sitting ourselves up nice and high. And from here, we're going to make our way through tabletop. And we're going to step our left foot to the outside of the mat as we make our way into our lizard pose. If you have your prop, you could place it in between the leg and rest your arms down onto it. Bring your palms into prayer, allowing the hips to drop heavy. If you feel you want to go a little bit deeper into the hips, you could drop the left knee out to the left, coming up onto the edge of the foot. Closing off the eyes or bringing a soft gaze, we begin to melt and go deeper into the pose. And maybe as we hold these poses for a few breaths, you feel you can go deeper in. Maybe you bring the arms down further onto the mat. Or maybe you just find a little bit more ease, a little bit more comfort through the body. Imagining with each exhale that you can sink a little bit deeper down. Breathing into the hips. gently come out of the pose. We'll come high on the hands and we'll bring the left knee back to center. We'll move our prop off to one side. We're going to walk our foot over towards the right side of the mat as we set ourselves up for our sleeping swan pose. We're going to drop our knee down heavy onto the mat and drop the hips heavy. Sinking the hips down into the mat. And we'll begin to fold over the leg while we place one hand on top of the other, making a little pillow out of our hands, and rest your forehead down. We're going really deep into the hips. So just take this pose to where you feel comfortable. And try to relax as best as you can and release. Soften through the muscles as you soften through the body. We'll gently begin to come out of our pose, walking our hands back up on the mat. And very slowly and gently, we'll begin to come out of the pose by extending our left leg towards the back of the mat, coming back through tabletop. We'll extend the left leg long and just begin to rock forward and back, making sure we haven't created any tension in the hip or the leg. And when you're ready, we'll take it to the next side, coming into our lizard pose to begin with, walking the right foot over to the edge of the mat, maybe dropping the knee out to the right, coming down onto the forearms, and beginning to sink into the pose. Close the eyes and begin to relax. Maybe you want to take it deeper if you did on the last side. Just notice how this side of the body feels. Maybe it's more open. Maybe it's not. Just notice what you notice. See if you can relax a little bit more with each breath. Inhale and exhale. We'll gently begin to come out of the pose, walk the hands high on the mat. We'll move our bolster off to one side. And when you're ready, we'll set ourselves up for sleeping swan. We'll heel toe the right foot over to the left side of the mat. And then we'll drop our knee down onto the mat. Allow the hips to sink nice and deep, releasing any tension. And when you're ready, we'll begin to fold over the leg as we make a pillow out of our hands, rest our forehead down, and melt into this side of the body. Keeping your awareness with your breath. Following the breath on the inhale down to the bottom of your belly, and following the exhale back up out through the body. Noticing how as we hold these poses for a few breaths, that you really do begin to release and find more ease. Inhale and exhale fully. And when you're ready, we'll make our way out of the pose, coming up high on the hands as we lengthen through the spine. And from here, we're going to drop over onto the right hip and we'll sweep the left leg around in front of you. We're coming to sitting on our mat. We'll just drop our knees over to the left, back through center and over to the right. Just stretching out through the hips. Just letting those poses go. From here, we'll bring the soles of our feet to touch. We're going to rest our bolster, our cushion, if you have one. We're going to rest it out in front of us. We're going to place our feet one at a time back together. From here, we'll hinge forward from the hips and we'll just gently begin to fold over the legs. We're not looking to fold too deep, just to create a little bit of space through the lower back and spine. So make sure there's no tension, that you're not pulling onto the feet, you're not dragging yourself into this pose. We don't need to go to our max today. Just aware we can comfortably hold each pose for a couple of minutes. And if any of these poses do become a little bit too intense as we hold them, you can always release and back off. And gently and slowly come out of the pose. Begin to lengthen through the spine, stacking one vertebrae at a time. And we'll bring our feet down off our prop and we'll place it behind us. So you want to rest it right in towards the lower back, and we're going to bring our feet wide apart so we can sit our hips in between, keeping the knees comfortably together if you can. Bring the bolster right in towards the lower back and we'll begin to drape our body over the bolster. So very slowly coming back, lying down, resting the head back. The arms can stay hanging long alongside the body. Creating a wonderful opening through the heart space. Begin to relax down through the body. Softening out the forehead. As you relax the space in between your eyebrows. Allowing your jaw to relax. As you feel the weight of your head melt into the ground, melt into your bolster. your shoulders to hang heavy. And allowing the arms to rest long against you. Relaxing through the chest as you soften the muscles in your belly. Relaxing the hips. And we'll gently come out of our pose, using your hands to bring yourself back up. We'll place the prop off to one side, and from here we'll bring our legs back out onto the mat. And we'll lie down onto the mat. We're going to set ourselves up for supported bridge. So you can pick up the hips, place your prop under the hips, and take a moment to notice where your feet are placed. You want to keep them roughly in line under the knees. And you can rest your hands down onto the lower part of your belly, just to feel the connection of your breath. Feeling the gentle rise and fall of the belly with each inhale and each exhale. Noticing your belly pressing into your hands on the inhale, and noticing the belly relax back down on the exhale. And we'll gently and slowly come out of the pose, sliding the bolster down on the legs. We're going to allow it to rest below the knees. And from here, we're going to bring ourselves into our final resting pose, Shavasana. Taking up as much space as you need to on your mat. Getting as comfortable and as cozy as you need to. And begin to relax down through the entire body. Allowing your feet to hang heavy as you relax through the legs. Noticing the weight of your hips. Noticing your whole body as you're totally and completely relaxed. And this is where I'll leave you for today. I encourage you to stay here in your Shavasana as long as you can. We'll bring our hands together, our thumbs up towards our third eye. Namaste.